Good afternoon. My name is Caitlin. This is KTXX22 Reading, and welcome back to my channel. And on this episode of a book review, what the hell did I just read? This is the second book that was recommended to me by the gettbr.com tailored book recommendation service that I told you about in my previous review for the Poppy War. And let me tell you something. I mean, what? One of the things that I had asked my recommendations that I requested from the service was that they recommend books that were diverse, i.e. books by peoples of color, own voices, LGBTQ+, etc. Because there's a plethora of books that I have access to that are written by white folk. And I don't necessarily need recommendations for those. I would love more diverse reads in my genres that I prefer, i.e. horror and sci-fi. So I asked them to do that for me, and they've done that with this book, Rosewater by Tade Thompson. Now, I'm not entirely sure what I just finished. This book was incredibly confusing, and it was recommended to me because I had made a request, and I'm unfortunately still on the hunt because I love the Alien franchise. I like the movies. They are a great mashup of horror and sci-fi, blood, guts, good smart science coming together to make this perfect little gem. And this book was recommended because they said it was similar to the Alien franchise, and I see kind of where they're coming from because there are reanimates in this book, i.e. zombies, kind of, sort of, but they don't eat people. So I don't know that you would call them zombies. You would just call them reanimates. And yeah, there's like 3 or 4 timelines in this, and trying to keep everything straight was incredibly difficult. On top of the fact that a lot of the science in this is highbrow, but not highbrow in the sense of space and planets, oxygen, etc. This is very highbrow in the sense of mental spaces, computer systems, they call it the xenosphere, where people are able to go into other people's minds and make things happen. And what? This is a trilogy. I am not going to continue the trilogy because I'm still unsure if the book had a purpose other than to confuse the living daylights out of the reader. And I say that lovingly because I enjoyed most of the characters in this, but I think that the concepts here are really interesting, but the layout was wrong. It was all wrong. If you're popping from 2055 to 2060 to 2065, and all 3 of these storylines are going at the same time, who's not going to be confused? I enjoyed the character arc of our main character, Caro. Our main character's name is Caro. And I like that he develops humanity throughout the book, which is really nice. But like I said, I'm not really sure what is supposed to be accomplished, especially so that there would be other books to complete a trilogy. I feel terrible saying that because I wanted to really enjoy this, but it's confusing from page 1 to the last page of the book. You'll get into a rhythm with one of the storylines and be like, okay, I totally am getting what's going on. This is interesting to see this alien life form come to Earth, just for it to be completely smashed against the wall and some other new concept comes into play, and or the concept that you thought you were understanding just disappear. Anyway, I'm going to give this a 2 out of 5 because my enjoyment factor was not so high. And like I said, I think the idea is good, but the execution was poor. There might be an audience for this. I am not that audience, surprisingly, but I would definitely be interested if you are a fan of this book and this series, the Wormwood trilogy. If you could maybe shed some light, help me understand. Leave a comment below if you're one of those people who have read this and want to talk about it with me, or you were thinking about reading it. Like, subscribe, all the good stuff. And I just really hope that you guys are having a kick-ass day and you're remembering to read diversely. As of yet, we have a 3-star review and a 2-star review for my recommendations from my gettbr.com. So we'll see what happens. Until the next time, have a freaking awesome day, and I'll talk to you later.